Okay, these are the two sinew back bows, okay? The sinew back bow closest to me is the one that I did about a week ago. I wanted to take the bandage off and see if I needed to add sinew. As soon as I started unwrapping it, I realized that that bandage is glued rock hard onto this sinew. And I said, that's not good. I don't think I'll ever wrap them again. And I says, let me take the one off of this one I just wrapped now, okay? And I did, and peeled up some sinew, and I glued some sinew down, and it's a nightmare, that wrap. It picks up the sinew. It's terrible. So you know what's next? I got to fire harden another bow in the next couple of days, order some sinew, and I'm going to sinew back a bow without that wrap on it, because the rawhide I put on and I don't wrap it and it comes out perfect. So with the tight bond, there should be no reason why I can't just lay it on and be done with it and it'll look good. And all you have to do is every once in a while just push it down till it sets to make sure it's glued, I guess. And that's what I'm going to do. Very unhappy with this ace bandage wrap stuff. It's just a nightmare. So my plan is now I'm going to take some sandpaper and spend probably hours taking off the this wrap bandage from the sinew, okay? And once I get it cleaned up, I'm going to see if I have to add more sinew and put a coat of tight bond on it. I'm going to start off with the longer bow that I sinew back first, that had all that expandable ace bandage wrapped around it. I used the back of the belt. I used a belt sander. You know, I use power tools a lot, and to get off a lot of it. And then I spent a long time with 60 grit sandpaper taking down the rest. So it wasn't bad at all. I need add a little sinew here and here, and over here a little bit. So I have extra sinew. I'm going to add it wherever I think it may be. Okay, this is the one I did a couple days ago, and I'm looking at it and it looks good. I sanded it. I might have to add a piece on the end here, a little bit on the end, and a little bit on the riser, which really don't need any support on the riser, but I'm going to just add a little sinew. So that's a later tonight project, is to sand it up and lay the sinew with tight bond where it needs to go after I soak the sinew, okay? Like I said, I ordered 2. Actually, I ordered 4 elk backstrap silver skin sinews, you know, so I can have a little extra. They were $40 for 2. And I got this 58-inch that I'm going to use with no wrap on the jig with the heat gun. Okay, I got to go run a couple errands. I have to take care of a couple things. When I come back, I'm going to reheat this with the heat gun again. 8 minutes the riser in the inner, 8 minutes on the outer, just to make sure that I got enough moisture out of it, because this thing's been cut down, you know, like 4 days ago. And then it's going to be too hot. We're having, I got an alert on my phone that we could have severe thunderstorms coming up. Tomorrow, I think it's going to be a little cooler. I'm going to check the weather, and maybe I'll do it in the morning. If it's not going to rain, I'll do it when it's cool in the morning. I'll fire harden this. And then we have to wait for the elk sinew to get shipped to me. And we're going to do it without a wrap, and we're going to compare them and see if there's any difference. And I just have a feeling it's going to look so much nicer. I'm going to take my time and lay a thin layer down. And if I have to let it dry and then add more, I will do that. So that's today. That's what I'm doing today. Good morning. Today's July 11th. And I have these 2 sinew back bows that were backed with sinew and tight bond 3. This longer one here was deer leg sinew. This shorter one here was elk backstrap sinew. So I'm going to get them flexing. And when I first started making bows, I only have a 26.5-inch draw length. And I shortened up a bow. I wanted to make it a little shorter, you know, for taking in the woods, and I made it 58 inches. And when I drew it back, it felt like there was let off. I pulled it back, it was strong, and then it kind of let off. And I realized that the wood couldn't handle that pressure. So these bows have been fire hardened for 2 hours each. They have buffalo horn tips, string grooves, sinew backed, and I'm really curious to see if the little short one will pull back to my 26.5 and not collapse. You know, so these have handles, and the one I pulled back that had, I guess, wood failure, you know, from the stress, that had a riser on it too, maybe 7.5-inch riser. So it'll be interesting to see if the sinew keeps the bow together, if I'm able to draw a shorter bow back and have it spring back and not have any wood failures. Okay, I'm not one of these guys that want to make a short 30-inch sinewed bow and pull it back 20 inches and look down the arrow and shoot. I want to be able to have an anchor point and have solid anchor, and I want to be able to hit what I'm looking. So that's why I'm okay even with the 60-inch working out and the 58-inch. So this 60-inch here, I had micro-tilled a little bit, enough to figure out which side was left or right, shape the handle, cut out a shelf, and I think I'm going to till the longer one first so I can get an idea on how it stacks and if the shorter one will survive. All right, so tillering today. Don't pay attention to the lines on the house and this pole because this pole's not cemented in. I'm looking at the back of the riser, trying to make it level, and we're going to trust the yardstick. Our tillering marks are at the fade outs to 1 inch from the bottom of the string groove, which happens to be 24 inches, and at the 12-inch mark is the midpoint. So once again, we're just using our tillering marks. We're turning the numbers on the yardstick away so we are not distracted, and we're going to see what kind of bend we got. And we have a very nice bend going on over here. Let's check out the bend we got going on over here. We have a really nice bend going on here. And again, I micro-tilled this down before I put the rawhide on, just so I could find out left or right and put a shelf on this particular one. I'm going to go down another inch. There is no flat spots, perfect bend. There is no flat spots, perfect bend. We're going to go down another inch. We're going to see how far we got to bend here. Let's see if the bend's even or not. We've got about an inch bend there. And we got 3/4 here. So this limb has to bend more. So we're going to remove material from this limb, and then we're going to come back. So this limb wasn't bending enough. I saw there was a little bit of a flat spot here and a little bit of a flat spot there. So I removed material. When you remove material from one limb, it affects the other limb too, as far as distance. So let's see what we got here. Take a real good look here. We got a nice bend overall here. And we got 7/8. Let's check out over here. And we got 7/8. Okay, we got this to bend a little bit and over here to bend a little bit. So we're doing good. We're going to go down another inch. Nothing that jumps out. We got a nice bend. There's no flat spots that jump out. And what we want to do is we want to get down here. We got a few more inches to go to a string. And we're going to try for around the 45-pound bow if that's possible. So let's see. Went down another couple inches. Okay, we're almost at the point where we could put a string on. Almost. We got a little bit more to go. We're going to check the weight on this too. About 1.25 inches. We got 1.25 inches. And when we're pulling down, this is when we have a long string, these numbers are just reference points, not draw length or anything. So at the, what do we got here, 18.5 inch mark, which is actually the top of the 17-inch mark here, we're going to pull down here with the scale and see what we got. We got 34 pounds. We got 34 pounds, and we'll be able to put a string on. We're going to try for 45 pounds. So we're going to look for a string for this, a shorter string. Well, I found a string. It's got a 5.5 inch brace height right now. And we're going to do a little measuring. Since the handle's shaped, what we're going to do is go to the back of the bow, the part that's away from you, and measure the string distance. It's 7.25. It's 7.25. Let's go to the midpoint on the top. And we're going to do the same at the outer, just this for this bow. It's 5.75. This one needs to go a little more. It's 5 5/8, so it needs to bend a little more here. So this one needs to bend a little more on the outer, on the bottom limb. So we'll mark it up a little bit. And I just want to see, I'm going to put a little scale on it just to pull it down a little bit before I even take that tiny little bit off, just to see what kind of weight we're talking about here. Okay, we're going to pull it down a little bit. We got 30 pounds at an 18-inch draw. So we're going to remove a little bit of material. It's very minute, but we're going to remove a little bit from the bottom limb. Make sure it's nice and even, and we're going to come back. I twisted it up a little bit more. We got a 6 1/4 inch brace height. We're at 8 from the back of the bow. We're at 8. We're going to go right to the line on the inner. We got 5 3/4. The line on the inner, we got 5 3/4. It's perfectly even. We got it now with a 6 1/4 inch brace height. So let's put it on and see how it looks with a little bit of pull on it. Okay, we got a 20 inch, we got a 19 1/2 inch draw. And look at that nice bend we got. Beautiful bends. They're beautiful. Going to see what kind of weight we got at that 19 1/2. We got 30 pounds at 19 1/2. I only have a 26 inch draw. Let me work it in a little bit. I could feel it, could say almost stacking at this 60 inches. So I think that 58, when I make it, is got to be for a shorter draw than 26 1/2. Because this 60 inch feels like I'm at the limit. Okay, we got it to my draw length, but as I pull back, we'll have to see what kind of weight we got at that 26 1/2 inches. Let's give it a shot. But I'm really doubting that 58 inch bow is going to work out for me. It's got to be a shorter draw. I'll tiller it, I get it bending, but I really believe the 58, like I said, and when I had that 58 way back when I started building bows, even with the shorter riser, when I pulled back, it the wood kind of like let off, like the fibers compressed or whatever, and I got a little, the wood was damaged. So that's why I wanted to try the Sinew backing. So let me see what weight we got at my draw length. We got 48, 49 pounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce some material. I want it to be 45 because I have another 45-pound bow in the house. And I want to compare the two. So I'm going to remove some material and see if I can get around 45 pounds. Okay, let's check out the profile on the bow. Looks pretty good. So interesting thing, you could see when I unstrung it, there's a very, very slight, minute bit of string follow. When I put this on a flat level table, the limbs don't touch. It's ever so slightly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to tiller this 58 inch, which I put on a little heavier backset jig. I won't go through the whole tillering process, but I'm going to show you there's a lot of backset on this one. And we're going to take it down till there's no backset. And then we're going to mark it and try to get it bended. You can see right here there's a dip. There's a dip over here. So we're going to put the yardstick up, mark it with a pencil. Okay, you can see, like I said, there's big dips there. So I'm not going to bore you with the tillering process. I have so many tillering videos, but I'm going to draw out my tillering marks on this, and then I'm going to get it worked up. I have a string on this 58 inch, and this is the elk sinew back bow. And I believe there's less sinew, less thickness here than there was in the other one. And the other one was 60 inches. It felt like it was stacking. The other one was 60 inches, and it felt like it was stacking, like it was, like when I pulled it back, it was back at the max. And I got this evened up here now. And believe it or not, it feels smooth. So it's kind of weird. I guess if you overback this, and you see this is the first time I'm doing this, so I'm experimenting and sharing it with you so you can see what I'm going through. I guess if you overback it, it'll be sluggish, it'll be too strong, it won't flex enough. And this was the elk sinew from the backstrap, from the silver skin that I pulled apart. And this is a shorter bow. It's a lighter weight bow. I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. We're going to see how many pounds it is at my 26.5 inch draw. Let's check out the weight. £33 pounds. It's 33 pounds. Interesting. 33 pounds. The lighter weight goes back further. And less sinew allows it to flex more. Combination of the both. I wish I had a more in-depth analysis of what is going on here. But at this point, I can't give you a detailed explanation other than I think the thinner sinew layers allow it to be more flexible. And this had a lot of backset. Let's unstring it. This was fire hardened on a little more aggressive backset jig and then sinewed slightly more. And let's see if it springs back. Well, it's fairly level. Comes back a little bit, fairly level. So that's interesting. 33 pound sinew back bow at 58 inches that pulls back to 26.5. We're going to have to shoot it. We're going to put a shelf in it, shape it, shoot it, see how. Maybe we'll chronograph it just to see how it shoots. And from my experience with these lighter bows, this is going to shoot an 800 spine arrow out of it. So we're going to see if that theory works out too. Finished the 58 inch sinew back bow, and I sanded it. I put a nice shelf and grip on it, and I removed a little more material, sanded it, made sure it was even, the tiller was even. And this one here already had the riser in it, but I sanded it again, removed some glue spots, removed a little material. We're going to see what the weight is on these. This is the 58 inch bow. I'm going to show you what the profile looks like, and we're going to see how many pounds it is. just under 27 pounds at 26.5-inch draw. Let's check out the little longer one that's heavier, that's sinew backed. This is 60 inches. The 60-inch bow. Let's see how many pounds this is at 26.5 inches. £44. Try it one more time. £44. Okay, so it's a nice hunting weight bow. We're gonna have to go outside and shoot these and see if I can find the compatible bow that's not sinew backed, and just to get some comparison. Okay, they won't be short like these, but we're gonna get some comparison. Good afternoon. It's July 12th, and I got the chronograph set up, and I got the two sinew back bows that I made. This is the 60-inch, that's 44 pounds, and I have the other 58-inch that wound up being a 27-pound bow. And we're going to compare it to a couple other bows. I don't have anything exactly the same, but we're just going to check out the speed. We're going to use two different arrows for this test. We're going to use gold tip hunter arrows that are 29 inches. They're carbon, and they're 344 grains. And the other one is Easton Legacy. They're 408 grains. And we're going to see how they do against the other bows. I realized I didn't set the knot correctly, but that's okay. I could tell just by looking at it. This is fine where I have it. And we're going to see what kind of speed we get. We're using the hunter arrow first, which is 344 grains. (137 feet per second). Next, we're going to shoot the Legacy, and the Legacy is 408 grains. (130). So the lighter hunter, I'm going to stop it here and get a comparable bow, and we're going to see the speed. I have a 62-inch fire hardened hickory bow that's 42 pounds at my draw length. We're going to test that first. Flies, we're going to shoot the gold tip hunters that are 344 grains first. This is natural backing, peeled off the bark and the cambium. (143 feet per second). So it's faster, like 5 grains faster. You know, so the question is, really what I'm doing is, the question is, this is, like I said, this is 64, that's 60. For the 4 inches, you lose 5 feet per second having it back with rawhide. Is the shorter bow worth it? You know, I don't know. So now we got the Legacy, and the Legacy is 408 grains. Let's see what we get for that. 140 feet per second. Okay, so the bottom line is the sinew back bow, though it's probably more durable, it's a couple inches shorter, it's like 5 feet per second slower than a bow that's 2 inches longer and has a natural back where I just peeled the bark and cambium off and laid out a design. Now we're going to switch up and we're going to try something. Since we're comparing, I have to throw in a modern bow. This is an absolutely beautiful Thunderchild bow from Big Jim. Gorgeous. 54 inches, 42 at my 26. And we're going to shoot this 344 grain hunter arrow through it just to see what kind of speed we get. .158. So obviously the laminated bow does kick it out. You know, glass laminate does kick it out a lot more than a primitive bow. Now we got the Legacy. We're going to shoot out of this. And again, the Legacy is 408 grains. 149. You can't compare really a modern bow to a primitive style bow, but we did anyway just to show you the difference. Now we're going to go to the shorter, lighter Sinew back bow. This is my 58-inch Sinew back bow. This one is backed with the deer leg tendons, and the longer one was backed with the elk backstrap, the silver skin Sinew. So this is 27 pounds according to my pull scale at my 26.5-inch draw. And we got 2 arrows we're going to shoot out of this. This is a little target bow. We got 800 Eastern Vectors that are 274. We're going to shoot that through first. I didn't set the knock on this one either, but we'll knock it underneath. It's fine. Let's see what we get. 128. Then we have these 700 spine Entradas that are 282 grains. $130. So now the other bow that I have comparable, let me get the other bow and we'll compare it. Hang on a second here. The only one I have close in numbers is this Eastern Red Cedar bow that's unbacked. That when I peeled the cambium off, there was hardly any knots. It was a pristine back. I was able to make a bow unbacked. It was fire hardened twice, and it's 28 at 26. The only thing close I have. $142. Got to tell you what, this twice hardened bow is kicking it out pretty good. Now we have a 282 Entrada. $141. Okay, it's a different species of wood, a little wider limb, and unbacked. And I guess I can't really compare the two because I don't have a hickory bow that's that low in draw weight. But this Eastern Red Cedar, boy, it's kicking out pretty fast. So the bottom line is, Sinew does slow the bow up a little bit. It makes a stronger back. Is it worth a couple of inches to lose, 5-6 feet per second? And once again, I don't advocate speed. I have an old Herder's bow that's 46-inch that when I shot it the first time through the chronograph I purchased, this one here, it said I was 126 feet per second. And I sent the chronograph back and said there's got to be something wrong with it. I actually killed a lot of does with that bow. So feet per second don't kill it. Shot placement, shot placement, shot placement. But this is just a comparison to see the speed out of a Sinew back bow and an unsinew back bow. So let me look through my bows and then I'll get back to you. I did a quick check. I couldn't find any lower pound hickory bows that were compared to that. So the bottom line is you can get a little shorter bow. It protects the back, keeps the fibers under tension from lifting up. It's like a solid band-aid over the top. That's the idea of backing, to keep the fibers from lifting up when they're under tension. And I could see it on maybe on some recurves, when I make some recurves, and as the recurves are bending on that midpoint to the inside section of limb, there's a lot of tension under pressure, and it's a little reassurance. You could just sinew back that short section there, and I think that would work fine. And if you just want to use a wood, let's say you have woods in your old local area, like sassafras and eastern red cedar that are normally weak in tension, you can probably try sinew backing them. If that's the only wood you got and you want to make it a little stronger, you could do that. So that's the end of this video. I'm going to have another video where I'm going to chronograph some bows, including these again. I have Sassy, my sassafras bow. I have 2 eastern red cedars that are on back that I'm going to shoot. And I have a holly bow that I'm going to shoot the chronograph too. So I'm going to get back to you. Keep your eye out for a second video. And that's the end of this video. And for me, it was quite an experience to sinew back these bows. And I have one more bow that I'm going to make a quick video on sinew backing. I'm waiting for the sinew to come in. It's going to be elk backstrap, silver skin sinew, and I'm not going to wrap it. I'm going to lay it down on that bow. I prepped the back already. It's another 58-inch bow. I'm not going to make the layers that thick. I'm just going to make it to hold the back together. And we're going to see how that turns out without wrapping it, where you don't have to worry about all that ace bandage stuck to the glue, stuck to the sinew. All right? So thanks for watching. Every day that you get up is a great day. Keep your eye posted. There'll be a second video on chronographing. Thanks for watching.